Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry Saravia at the movies. So we're going to make this brief today. A few days ago they showed the first teaser photo of the new Wonder Woman from Batman vs. Superman, or whatever it's actually going to be called, Man of Steel Part 2, the Zack Snyder movie sequel to Man of Steel, which will be coming out apparently in early 2016 now, which is the second or third delay for the release of the film. So I'm looking at this photo, and this is the photo of Wonder Woman. So just take a good look at that. And there you have it. Now, what's interesting about this is that this looks like actually a photo for the new. If they were making a movie about Xena, Warrior Princess, this would be ideal. Because there's nothing here that tells me superhero, that tells me comic book hero, or tells me DC, any shape or fashion. In fact, this could easily be the picture or artistic rendering of one of the Phantom Zone villains. That would have been maybe appropriate. Although, again, what's interesting about this is I mean, it could be a shot from the Lord of the Rings scenario with those dark, murky skies. Again, just very brown, extremely brown, very brown. Nothing here screams DC comic book hero whatsoever. Now, why am I mentioning this is because what I find interesting is that they are adopting this kind of new retrograde look. I shouldn't say retro so much as a revisionist look of Marvel superheroes and DC. Marvel maybe not so much, but when you look at just even the stuff on television, like the new Flash TV show, if you look at it, that costume, it doesn't look anything like what we normally associate with Flash. Not at all. Not even the TV series they had back in the 90s called The Flash. That one at least was a burgundy red, if my memory serves, but you still saw the lightning bolt and everything. Very dark, murky colors. Wonder Woman is like that. Then you have Superman, which of course now we just have to call Man of Steel because he can't even be referred to as Superman anymore, which is odd. But okay, I mean, I enjoyed Man of Steel, don't get me wrong. It's certainly one of the more interesting Superman movies I've seen in quite some time, even though I did criticize the look of that costume initially because I thought it looked too much like Bizarro Superman from the Superman comics, or if you like, the evil Superman that we saw in Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve. Nevertheless, Batman, we expect dark colors. And granted, Ben Affleck as Batman has the right look. Because I wouldn't want it to look cheesy, of course, like the Batman TV series, if I have to pick one from the 1960s with Adam West. I don't want that, but at least it's still Batman. But Wonder Woman doesn't have the patriotic colors, right? So there's no stars and stripes, there's no blue, there are no primary colors in her costume whatsoever. It's like they washed away all color completely. That might fit in with the Zack Snyder universe, perhaps Christopher Nolan, who also produces these movies. But the interesting thing about that is this: it's not just that vision. It's not just Zack Snyder's, because again, as I said, the Flash, Green Arrow, right now just called Arrow, by the way, for a TV show because it's no remote green color whatsoever in his costume for the Arrow TV show, right? So they just call it Arrow, which to me sounds like, or I should say, the character looks like an anonymous superhero. I mean, who cares? But they're doing away with these things. This has become the new look. Now, at least Spider-Man still retains the colors, right? For the Andrew Garfield, even though there's a slight darkness, it's still, it's blue, it's red. It really should be. I mean, because that's how we accept Spider-Man. I mean, that's how we know it's Spider-Man, right? Because I mean, Spider-Man wouldn't come on even if it looked like the newer comics from say the 90s where he had a kind of a dark blue or almost black suit with that white spider and you know it would still be acceptable because we know it's still Spider-Man technically, but we're used to the other look because that defines Spider-Man. Superman, same thing. Wonder Woman, absolutely, because it's also the comics. That's how she is. She's got that red top and uh, the blue, skimpy dress with the stars on them. So it all looks representative of the American flag. So now, with the exception of perhaps the Avengers and some of them, even though it's a more, again, retrograde type look, but it's not devoid of color. But in general, it seems that superheroes now, they're changing it to such a degree that there is no color. It's washed away. It may as well be in black and white. Now, why is this happening? Well, I think the reason is because these movies do very well overseas. And in most cases, some of these movies are even shown overseas before they make it here. Iron Man 3, case in point. In fact, in Iron Man 3, Robert Downey Jr. barely even has the Iron Man costume on. But at the very least, when he does, it's Iron Man. So, as I said, it seems Marvel is exempt from this type of new revolutionary look, if you like, devoid of color. But why is this happening in general? And the reason is, I think, because of this. I think that because these movies have to sell overseas, they don't want anything to look American. They don't want anything to look like the American flag. No primary colors. I mean, can you imagine if today they did a comic book like Dick Tracy? And the way Warren Beatty made that film back in 1990 was all primary colors. I mean, forget it. It just wouldn't happen today. You wouldn't see that kind of look. But why not? Does everything have to look like Frank Miller's Sin City? And the answer is no, it does not. Green Arrow, we know is Green Arrow. He shouldn't just be called Arrow. Superman costume, I'm willing to accept because I like the movie. But Wonder Woman, when you're going that direction, because then, you're losing me there. You are really losing me. What are you really trying to do here? And I think the reason is, again, to make these films acceptable to a foreign audience, which seems to be really important nowadays. They drain the colors from the original costumes the way we know them from comic books. There are many important things going on in this world, so don't get me wrong, but at Comic-Con, people should have been outraged, like saying, you got it wrong, people. Because that's what Comic-Con is all about. It's not just about people that go there because they love comic book movies or they're superheroes. They also like comics. We kind of lose that in translation a little bit, but that's really what it's truly all about. It's a comics convention. So, this costume just pisses me off. It's not right. Now, I'm curious about this movie, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, but at the same time, they're doing away with what works for Wonder Woman. They're just stripping it away. It may as well be Xena. It may as well be a new kind of Batgirl. She's just missing, or Catwoman. She's just missing, a mask, because this is not Wonder Woman. That's all I got to say about that. And this is Jerry Saravia at the movies, signing off.